October 18th is the feast of Saint Luke the Evangelist. Saint Luke was born a Greek and a Gentile in Antioch, Syria. He was a physician. Luke joined Paul at Troas in the year 51, accompanying him from Macedonia to Philippi. It is very possible that Luke provided medical assistance to Paul when he had been beaten, stoned, or nearly drowned while evangelizing to the Western Roman Empire. Saint Luke is depicted as holding a book which represents his gospel in one hand, and in his other hand he holds a plant representing healing herbs. Luke explains in the introduction to his gospel that his writings were inspired by close association with Paul and his companions. On the part of Paul, he says, "Only Luke is with me." Luke perhaps remained with him to the end of his life, even during his imprisonment and sufferings. Luke is the only Gentile to have written books in the Bible. He is the writer of the third Gospel and the Acts of the Apostles, and his writings have been proven to be historically accurate. In the third Gospel, Luke emphasizes Christ's compassion for sinners and for those who suffer. The Gospel of Luke focuses on the poor and oppressed, encouraging tenderness and compassion for the less fortunate. The story of Lazarus and the rich man who ignored him is told in Luke's Gospel, as is the parable of the Good Samaritan. The Gospel of Luke stresses the importance of evangelizing to the Gentiles. In the Gospel of Luke, we hear Jesus praising the faith of Gentiles, such as the widow of Zarephath and Naaman the Syrian, and we hear the story of the one grateful leper who is a Samaritan. Unlike the Jewish writings, women have an important place in Luke's Gospel. Luke writes about the women who accompanied Jesus, such as Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Susanna, and Martha and Mary, and many other women who used their own resources to help Jesus and his disciples. Luke also writes about the birth of Christ from Mary's point of view, and she is especially important in Luke's Gospel. It is only in the Gospel of Luke that the story of Mary's Annunciation, her visit to Elizabeth, the Magnificat, the presentation of Jesus remaining in Jerusalem are told. In Luke's Gospel, we learn the words spoken by the angel to Mary at the Annunciation, "Hail Mary, full of grace," and Elizabeth's words to Mary, "Blessed are you, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus." Luke's Christian ministry can be followed in the book of Acts. It can be noticed that up until the 16th chapter, the story of Acts is written in the third person, much like an historian recording facts. The voice of the narrator then changes to first person, and scholars believe this is done at the time Luke first joined Paul at Troas in the year 51. The book of Acts switches back to a third person, and scholars believe that this reflects a period in time when Luke was not present during the events that are recorded. Though some historians claim that Saint Luke was martyred after the death of Saint Paul, Others say he lived a long life, dying at the age of 84 after settling in Greece to write his Gospel. Saint Luke is the patron saint of artists, physicians, bachelors, surgeons, students, and butchers.